Fellas, ladies, welcome to the Sunday night NFL grind edition of DFS Rebels. Brought to you by BetAngles with player pick'em contests, computer-generated sports betting picks, and sports research tools. Together, we will rise to the top. Alright, first things first, smash that like button. It only takes a second. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. By the way, it's your boy David Dietrich, aka Double D. I'm here with Robert Smith. You can call him Twitch. Alright, let's get into the Sunday night game. So make sure you join the rebellion. Dun, 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 dun. I love that song, buddy. That's just pumps me up. Alright, it's the Sunday night edition, people. It's the Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Oh yeah, my nipples are hard.
The Saints are a 3-point favorite. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. The over and under 53 points, so they're predicting a lot of points to be scored in this one. But we do got some key injuries to get into. So let's dive into it. All right. So for the Green Bay Packers, Davante Adams, he was limited in practice, but they're listing him as doubtful. So I don't know. It's not looking good for him for the Sunday night game. Darnell Savage, groin injury, limited practice. He's out. Questionable, sorry. All right, for the Saints, Michael Thomas, their star receiver, ankle injury, out this week. Kiko Alonso, linebacker, ACL, out. And Marcus Davenport, elbow, limited practice, questionable. All right, so yeah, it's the Sunday night game, as I said it before. Green Bay Packers, New Orleans Saints, both teams a little banged up. The Saints coming off a loss last week to the Las Vegas Raiders, your team.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the Packers just dominated last week. They're 2-0. So all right.
So we are going to talk about the single game slate in a little bit. I just want to go over the game first. The first thing that pops out to me right off the bat is the Packers lead the way. After 2 weeks, it doesn't mean much, but they lead the way right now in yards per game, in rushing yards, and points per game. They're in first in all three.
Yeah, that's crazy. Their offense is explosive, but remember, that's with Davante Adams.
That is with Davante Adams, so that does come down a bit. But they do have more explosive playmakers on there with Aaron Jones. So I absolutely love myself some Aaron Jones.
Okay. Tell me who else you like. Start with the Saints.
Start with the Saints. All right.
I mean, start however you want.
Saints. Saints is good. Honestly, I'm looking at some player props for like Kamara. They have Kamara over under 65.5. I'm smashing the over for that one. They also have Latavius Murray rushing 35.5. I'm actually smashing the under. I think he gets around 30.
Okay.
30.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he's still a play. I would still play him in DFS.
It looked like last week, Latavius Murray, only 3 carries, 14 yards. I guess they went away from him after. Kamara did have a great game.
So Tre'Quan Smith...
looked good last week.
Yeah, he looked good.
He actually looked good.
Yep. There was some times he really let me down last season, but I've been on. Now, here's the thing about Sanders. He has not done anything. But he is a proven wide receiver, and you got to understand this is not a normal year. Just like everybody else, he did not have as much time to get ready with a brand new team, a brand new quarterback.
Yeah, I was surprised. Only 3 targets last week.
Well, listen, once he gets into a rhythm with a new team and his new quarterback, he's going to be efficient. Sanders has always been efficient.
Yeah, I loved him on the Denver Broncos days.
Yeah, you got to remember this is still like week 3 preseason and still getting acquainted with everything. I don't know if this is the week he figures it out. I don't really want to take my chances. But in DFS purposes, you have to take chances. Scared money don't make money.
Exactly. I live off that model every time.
Absolutely. Brees in the last 2 games has had 3 touchdowns. I think he's completed 44 of 68 attempts. I think it's 472 yards between the last 2 games.
Yes. I don't know. Drew Brees just didn't look well last week. I don't know. He's just showing his age finally, I think.
Yeah, it does look like it's happening. That Father Time is nipping at his heels.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I love Drew Brees. I love him as a player. He had a great career. But this last week against your Las Vegas Raiders, man, he should have won that game. I don't know.
I'm not even sure if how motivated he was to come back for what possibly could be his last year. But if this is his retirement run, if it is, he's going to understand that he wants to go out a bang. He's eventually going to figure this out, and he's going to connect with his players once everyone gets into the same routine. He made a comment. I think he made a comment after last game that they weren't getting the separation they needed. So it's not just on him. His receivers are not getting the separation. If you watch the games, it wasn't enough. So they're not doing him any favors. So it's not all on him. So we just need to see them do better this time around. I think they're in a good spot this time. 3 weeks in, they're a little more ready to go. So I do like the Saints.
Okay.
And that now they already have a game down without their star receiver. Green Bay is going into their first game without their star receiver. So they need to get a little more adapted to this. Aaron Rodgers, though, very efficient with 50 completions out of 74 the last two. Twice as many touchdowns, 6 touchdowns.
Yep.
With 604 yards the last 2 games. He's looked every bit of what Aaron Rodgers that we remember.
Yes,
What
definitely.
do you like him?
All right, so I'm gonna start with the Green Bay Packers. All right, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's looking like an MVP candidate already in the first 2 weeks. I know it's early, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers is looking like Aaron Rodgers of old. Last week, 18 for 30, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, he had a down game, but he still won the game. It was the Aaron Jones show last week. Last week, Aaron Jones, 18 rushes, 168 yards, and then he had 8 targets in the passing game. 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. So yeah, they utilize Aaron Jones to his strengths. He's a nice tool on that team. He's a weapon. I was never a fan of Jamal Williams. I know they drafted him not too long ago, a couple years ago. Aaron Jones is just he does it all, man. I mean, last week he averaged 9 yards a carry. Like he just thrashed. Who they played? The Lions last week? Detroit Lions. Yeah, they just thrashed the Detroit Lions. But yeah, Aaron Jones. I like Aaron Jones this week. Definitely in play. On the receiving side, yeah, it depends if Davante Adams plays. Even if he does play, he's probably gonna be limited because it's not really looking good for him to start.
No, I don't think Adams will play him.
Yeah, so basically they're gonna be without Davante Adams. So we gotta see what Alan Lazard is all about. Last week, 3 catches, 45 yards, 5 targets. So he's gonna get his targets go up because Davante Adams is gonna be out. But I mean, he was out last week too. But it looked like they relied a lot on Aaron Jones. So
got to see a little bit about Tunyon. He got into the end zone.
Yes, I'm looking at that right now. He had 2 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. That's interesting.
Yeah, on 3 targets.
3 targets. So he was efficient on his 3 targets. So his target share should go up. What's this guy? Marquis, Valles, Gantlin. I remember he had a couple great games last year. Was it 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? Last year? I don't know. Yeah, last year. So, he's going to...
His volume is there, though. He had 6 targets the first week, 7 targets the second week.
Yeah, so...
The volume's there.
The volume is there, and it's probably going to be double digits. It's going to be a high-scoring game, so Aaron Rodgers is going to look to throw at 30-plus games. Obviously, Aaron Jones is the stud to play. He's the one I'm going to be targeting. I'm not really... I mean, Scanlon is definitely a good play if you're going GPP, but it's not going to be too GPP because, Davante Adams is going to be out. So that's that for the Packers. Now, for the Saints, let's start with Drew Brees. Wasn't a fan of how he looked last week against the Raiders. I think that was a game they should have won. They were the heavy favorite, I want to say. He just looked like his age is finally getting to him. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but, I mean, he did have 26. He was 26 for 38, 312 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Wasn't sacked. But if you watched that game last week, it did not look like Drew Brees was the Drew Brees that we were used to. He's throwing a lot of short passes. I don't know if that was because Michael Thomas is out, but even with Michael Thomas in, I don't know. His arm strength doesn't look like the way it needs to be. We'll keep an eye on that. Kamara obviously was a stud last Monday night. He just thrashed the Raiders defense, but he's in play. The Packers defense is not the best. But Alvin Kamara, with Michael Thomas out, they're going to feature him in this offense as well. Like you said, with Latavius Murray, I don't know. They basically abandoned him last week. I don't know because they fell behind to the Raiders. But he only had 3 rushing attempts. And then I guess he was targeted. He had 2 catches for 9 yards. So he was involved in the pass game a little bit. Let's see. What else do I like here?
The thing with the running backs, if you look at Alvin Kamara, he's He's had 25 carries over the last 2 games with 95 yards. He didn't even break 100 yards yet in 2 games. So that's a little concerning. But he's been targeted heavily in the receptions. Last game he had 9 targets, and he caught all of them for 95 yards. So so that's so I'm not scared about his production. Aaron Jones has had 34 carries over the last 2 games with 234 yards. And then he is also heavily targeted in the receptions. Last game he had 8 targets, 4 receptions for 68 and a touchdown. So they are both they're just studs.
Okay.
They're the studs of this game. With Adams and Thomas out, those are everyone's going to be watching this. It's going to be a battle of the running backs.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a good game. All right, so let me go back to the Saints. Yeah, Traquan Smith last week definitely looked good. I'm gonna have definitely some shares on him. He impressed me. I didn't think he was gonna be that good. He looked like mainly just a deep threat, but they were using him in the slants. They had him. He had a good game. So definitely like him. I definitely think Emmanuel Sanders is gonna have a bounce back game. Surprised only he had 3 targets last week. I don't know. That's not like I think they need to get him more involved for sure. And then Jared Cook, I was really high on him last week. I was losing money because I put Jared Cook in my MVP slot last week. That didn't work out. But he did score a touchdown, but that was a surprise. Only 2 catches for 13 yards and a touchdown. So I guess that was better than nothing.
Well, talking about captain spots and stuff like that, we should talk about like how you want to build the lineups.
Yes. Do you like kickers in this game?
I do. I'll talk about that in a sec. I know. So right now, Aaron Jones and Kamara are going to be the heaviest chalk, followed by Rodgers. People might be a little scared to use Brees. Understandably so, but you know what? I'm on him anyway. But I would actually... it's tough. I would rather play both running backs rather than the quarterbacks. And get different elsewhere. Because if you're going to take one of these GPPs down, you're going to have like a play in there like a Mercedes Lewis who catches that sneaky touchdown and just takes down...
Who's going to be the Zay Jones of the week?
Right, the Zay Jones. It's going to be like a Mercedes Lewis... something like that. I think Sanders finally picks it back up and he produces.
People are going to be down on him because they're always recently biased. So I would definitely have some Emmanuel Sanders shares in that one.
So what I got to do is so you got to make lineups that fit. If you have a game skip, you think Green Bay is going to win, then you got to have a lineup where you think the Saints are going to win, and that's how you want to build. If you're going Saints heavy, you want Brees, Kamara, and then you got to get your cheap plays like. You might look.
You might want to throw the kicker, Will Lutz. Would you have some shares in Will Lutz?
Yeah, Will Lutz has always been one of my favorite kickers. He's won me tons of money in the past. So,
okay.
And this might be a Taysom Hill week.
Yeah. Let's talk about him a little bit. He's the secret weapon of the New Orleans Saints.
It's just sad that he doesn't always produce.
I don't think he's a secret anymore, but
he just doesn't always produce, and that's the one annoying thing. But I like him.
Not enough targets, not enough volume.
And then Harris over on.
Yeah, Devontae Harris did look good.
Yep, I think he's a great.
That's a sneaky play. I actually like that one.
So if you're gonna go Kamara and Brees, you might want to go some Harris. Might get Lutz in there, and then you obviously have to play someone on Green Bay.
Yeah.
Lazard, I think, is
good play.
Is due for a big game. Mercedes Lewis. If you can't afford the higher guys like Aaron Jones, but yeah, that's how I would build a Saints one.
Don't forget your boy Robert Toyan.
Yep. If you need to go heavy on Saints, like some of the higher priced guys, Toyan might be the play. Sternberger, if you don't like Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
These are all GPP plays. I'm talking right now.
Are you double stacking quarterbacks? What are you doing? This could be a good game for that one.
I actually prefer to stack the running backs this time.
Yeah. Okay.
Over the quarterbacks. It's even more so if I'm doing a Saints stack. I'm only going to use Brees in some of them. I'm not even going to use them all of them. Okay. I just want to pay up for Kamara, who's going to outperform him fantasy-wise anyway. But Green Bay-wise, you have to use Rodgers and Jones. You have to. And if you're doing that, you're going to have to go cheap plays, which if you're going to flip it around to the Saints, Lutz, Taysom Hill, Harris, I think they're great targets if you're building a Green Bay stack for GPP.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On DraftKings, I will not be using either defense. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking them out.
You can hope. You can use Green Bay maybe, and hope for that interception, that pick six, and that will beat the rest of the field. But I'm not on it. I don't like it.
Nah, I'm off that. But I like the way you're thinking though, because defenses are always on DK. You got a choice to pick defenses. They're always the lowest own of the slates. But in this game, I'm not really high on the defense. I think there's gonna be some points scored on this game. Even if Drew Brees does the goal, he's gonna find Kamara. He's gonna find Emmanuel Sanders. He's gonna find Jared Cook. He's gonna find Traquan Smith. I mean, I like the kicker. I keep bringing up the kickers. Mason Crosby, maybe a good play. Will Lutz, any of those guys.
Like just looking at FanDuel's right now, just plugging in a quick lineup. MVP, I have Jones, and then I follow up with Aaron Rodgers, Scantling, and Tunyon, and then my one Saints player is Kamara, and I still have 500 on the table. You can do a lot.
That's very sneaky.
You can do a lot.
Definitely leave money on the table. That's the way to do it on these games.
Big GPPs leaving money on the table is definitely the way to do it.
Don't be afraid to leave more than 5,000, 6,000, 7,000.
I don't always recommend that high, but it has happened. It's definitely has happened. I've seen people win lots of money. Usually, I like to leave at least 1,000. That's what I personally like to do. You gotta get weird.
You do. I like the way you're thinking, because if people just think they gave you 60,000 salary, they think they want to use all of it, but that's not what they really want you to do. You leave money on the table. That's the way to go.
Right. I recommend anywhere from 1,500 to 1,500 is what I would leave on the table. What about how do you like the defenses? Do you like the defenses at all?
No, I'm not on the defenses. I'm really not. The Saints defense is. I'm not saying the Saints defense is bad, but I just don't think. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing with some. I think I don't know. He's just looking angry. He's playing angry, and this is the Aaron Rodgers we all love. The way these last two games, he just was not fucking around. So
high scoring.
Yeah.
What's the over under? Banged up?
I think it was 53.
53? Yes. I would probably hammer over on that one.
Yeah, I'm predicting like a 30 to 27 kind of score. But I don't know. The Saints I don't know. They didn't do it for me last week. Against the Raiders, I'm not going to keep... I know I'm always picking on your Raiders. They don't have the best defense then, but they do put up points. I don't know. The Saints just definitely laid a goose egg last week.
As for the running back situation, you can use Jamal Williams. He produces. The rookie... is nothing right now. People thought he was going to take over Jamal Williams. Dylan. It's not happening. Not yet. Maybe next year. But it's still Williams. It's mostly Aaron Jones.
Yeah, no, definitely Aaron Jones. He last week, after the game he had, you can't fade.
And what's crazy is Aaron Jones did that huge game, and if I'm not mistaken, he was only on the field for 46% of the snaps. That is
wow.
That is absurd.
Yeah,
he wasn't even on the field for half of their snaps and went crazy like that.
Yeah, I mean they did blow out the Lions. I think because of that they probably gave him some rest. They didn't want to risk hurting this guy.
Yeah, it was just crazy. You don't hear things like that. Yeah. Aaron Jones is just a stud. Kamara also has the most receptions for running back so far in the NFL.
Brees has been looking his way a lot. He's definitely in PPR. Even not in PPR leagues, so you got to lock in Kamara.
So like I said, I'm personally fading the quarterbacks. I'm going both running backs. If I can fit Rodgers in there, I'm fitting him in. But I love both quarterbacks. They're chalky, but that's a chalk. There's plenty of ways you can get different, whether you go the kickers or Mercedes Lewis or Harris. You can figure it out, and you can win money on this slate. You don't need to hit the big money. You don't need to hit the 100,000. Just come in like one of the small places and get yourself $1,000, $500.
Yes.
That's good enough. You're just trying to.
It's better than nothing, guys. It's better than nothing.
Trying to profit.
I always try to get greedy. I see $1 million prize pool, and everybody just drools all over that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I've taken down GPPs. I have money, and I still don't max out my entries. I don't need to. I do good enough where I win and profit every week.
You only need 5 to 15 liners, honestly.
It's been done. But again,
you can do it just one, but
that's a little tricky. Yeah, but it's done. When I took down GPP, but this was a few years ago, I had one line and I took it down.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But cash lines also big thing. Big thing. Keep your cash lines going. That you can get a little more chalky with. Obviously, I still like both running backs for that one. For GPP, definitely get different with like a Harris or a Mercedes Lewis. You're gonna have to. That's the kind of juicy, the kind of weird that you need to do.
That's weird. That's definitely weird. And it sounds disgusting too.
It's disgusting, but you know what? It's sexy. Yeah, guys. So just a quick video tonight, but hit us up, DM us. We'll answer questions all day, all night, and we're all gonna cash. That's what we do here. That's what we do here at DFS Rebels. We kill the competition. We help the casual players compete with those the pros. We're gonna give you the free information to profit each week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Join the Facebook page, DFS Rebels on all of those. We're on everything, iTunes, Spotify. We're taking over. This is a rebellion, and you better join it.